The night it happened was quiet, the kind of quiet that only comes after the rain. I was sitting by the window, watching the soft mist rise from the wet pavement, when I heard the knock. It was past midnight, and no one ever came by at that hour. For a moment, I thought I imagined it. But then it came again, gentle, hesitant, like someone wasn't sure they should be there. Asterisk when I opened the door. There he was, Ethan Dot asterisk. He stood on my porch, soaked from the rain, his hands trembling slightly. His eyes met mine, and for a moment, I couldn't breathe. It had been months since we'd last spoken, months since I'd walked away from the one man who made me feel alive again after years of pretending I was fine. Asterisk K, he said softly. His voice cracked just a little. I didn't know where else to go. Asterisk, I wanted to say something smart. Something that would hide the rush of emotion that was flooding me. But all that came out was, "You're freezing. Come in." Asterisk, he stepped inside, dripping water onto my floor. And suddenly the room felt too small for the storm of feelings between us. I handed him a towel, avoiding his gaze, but when our fingers brushed, it was like every memory came back all at once. The laughter, the late-night talks, the promises we made and broke. Asterisk, I didn't ask him why he came. I didn't need to. I could see it in his eyes. Regret, confusion, maybe even hope. He had walked away when things got complicated, and I told myself I was fine. I rebuilt my quiet life, painted my living room, planted flowers, smiled for the neighbors. But deep down, the nights were long, and the silence was heavy. Asterisk Ethan sat down on the couch, rubbing his hands together. "I shouldn't have come," he said after a moment, eyes fixed on the floor. Asterisk, then why did you? I asked softly. Asterisk, he looked up at me, and something in his expression broke me open. "Because I can't stop thinking about you, about us." I tried, I really did, but nothing feels right without you. Asterisk, I stood there, heart pounding. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to remind him of how he left without a word, how I cried myself to sleep for weeks. But looking at him, wet hair, tired eyes, voice barely holding together, I couldn't. Asterisk Ethan. I whispered, but my voice caught. Asterisk, he got up slowly, closing the distance between us. "I know I don't deserve another chance," he said, his voice trembling. "But I had to see you. I had to know if you ever think about me." Asterisk, I laughed softly. The kind of laugh that's half pain and half relief. "Every day," I admitted. Asterisk, something in the air shifted then, that fragile space between holding on and letting go. He took my hand, hesitantly at first, like he was afraid I'd pull away. But I didn't. His touch was familiar and foreign all at once, like a memory that had been waiting patiently to be remembered. Asterisk, we stood there in silence, the rain still tapping against the window. He was close enough that I could feel his warmth, close enough that my heart started racing again, the way it used to when he'd whisper my name like it meant something. Asterisk, I never stopped loving you, he said finally. Asterisk, I wanted to believe him. I wanted to erase everything that had hurt between us. But love wasn't that simple, and time had left its mark on both of us. Asterisk, you can't just show up in the middle of the night and say that, I said, my voice shaking. Asterisk, I know, he said. But if I didn't, I'd lose you forever. Asterisk, I turned away, staring out the window. The reflection showed both of us. To people who had lost their way, but somehow found their way back to the same doorstep. Asterisk, do you remember the night we first met? I asked quietly. Asterisk, he smiled faintly. At the art fair, right? You spilled coffee all over me. Asterisk, and you laughed, I said, smiling in spite of myself. You said it was the best accident of your life. Asterisk it still is, he whispered. Asterisk for a long moment. Neither of us spoke. The clock ticked, the rain softened, and something inside me began to thaw. I built walls so high to keep him out, but now he was standing right in front of me. Asking for a chance to make things right. Asterisk, Ethan. I said slowly, if I say yes tonight, it can't be like before. I can't go through that heartbreak again. Asterisk, he stepped closer, gently touching my face. Then I'll spend every day proving you won't have to. Asterisk, my eyes filled with tears. Maybe it was foolish, maybe it was reckless, but love always is. It's never about guarantees. It's about faith. About the quiet belief that maybe this time, things will be different. Asterisk, and in that moment, standing in the soft glow of my porch light, I said yes. Asterisk, not because I forgot the pain, but because I remembered the love. Because even after everything, some hearts find their way back. Asterisk, he pulled me into his arms. And for the first time in months, the world felt right again. We didn't need words. The silence between us was full of forgiveness, of promise, of something fragile and real. Asterisk, the rain kept falling outside. But inside, everything was still. Asterisk, when morning came, sunlight poured through the curtains. He was already awake, sitting by the window, watching the world come back to life. I made coffee, and for a while, we just sat there, quiet, content. As if we'd both woken up from the same long dream. Asterisk, I don't know what happens next. I said finally. Asterisk, he smiled, reaching for my hand. We start over. Asterisk, it wasn't a perfect ending, but maybe it didn't have to be. Maybe love wasn't about perfection. Maybe it was about choosing each other again and again. Even when it scared us. Asterisk, that morning, as the sunlight touched his face, I realized something. Saying yes wasn't just about forgiving him. It was about forgiving myself for holding back, for being afraid, for forgetting how to believe in love. Asterisk, so when he knocked on my door that night, I didn't just let him in. I let myself feel again. And in that quiet, imperfect way, I found redemption.